Hey y'all, I want to talk to you for a moment about wearing masks. And I've had some conversation. And by the way, happy 4th of July. I'm recording right now in my office, and my neighborhood outside is going ballistic with fireworks while our 1-year-old is trying to sleep. But whatever. Happy 4th of July. Boom boom out there. So you may hear an occasional explosion during this video. I wanted to talk about masks. I came across a document that blew my mind. I sort of thought something like this existed, and please don't turn me off. I promise you. In fact, I guarantee you, you have not seen this document. You have not heard of this document, and you are going to want to. Um, I've had an issue from wearing masks from the beginning because I'm just not seeing the real reason. I There's a lot of the numbers don't make sense to me on this whole COVID thing. They never have. Um, my family's just fine. Frankly, from what I can tell, for me personally, I'm not really scared to get the coronavirus. Um, but anyway, that's not the point. I also feel like we're being lied to. We're not being told the truth. Um, there's not a discussion going on. They just want us to wear masks for some reason. I despise all of the mandates. I don't think mayors and governors and all these folks have the authority they think they do to issue all these mandates, to close businesses, to make you stay at home, to force you to wear a mask. I think everything that's going on is very anti-liberty, and frankly, to see so many people just totally okay with it, it scares the hell out of me. But I hope that you see some truth in this document. I'm going to do two things. One, I'm going to put this up on the screen, so don't worry about it. I'm going to put the PDF up on the screen, but I'm also going to make this available with a link in the comments. This is a document dated June 5th, 2020, so barely a month ago from me recording this video. It is directly from the World Health Organization. It's a 16-page document, and you can download it from their website at who.int. It's the real deal. And the document is titled, from the WHO, Advice on the Use of Masks in the Context of COVID-19. So this is current. This is the current WHO's advice on wearing masks. Now, let me take you through something, okay? So right here, I'm on page 4, and what they're talking about here is their advice on mask wearing for caregivers, okay? And one of the things they state, so you can assume this is true for non-caregivers, this is just a pretty general statement. They're citing available evidence for their suggestions, and they say this: there are currently no studies that have evaluated the effectiveness and potential adverse effects of universal or targeted continuous mask use by health workers in preventing transmission of SARS-CoV-2, which is the COVID-19, the coronavirus. Now, this is an interesting statement because it seems to me that mask wearing, not absolutely true, but to some degree, it's politicized. It's got an ideological dividing line to it, just like everything else seems to in this country. And it seems to be, for the most part, I'm making a very general statement here, but that progressives, everybody needs to wear a mask, and conservatives, hell no. Obviously, there are some people that fall along the gray area of the spectrum there. But the funny thing is this. Let me interject here with the climate change discussion. So I've had several climate change debates, which I'm sure many of you have had on Facebook and with your friends and family. And what you will hear from progressives, if you don't believe in climate change, is this: well, you're stupid. You don't believe in science. What are you basing this on? Because all the scientists say science, science, science. You got to believe in science. And if you don't believe in science, you're stupid. And if you can't point to scientific evidence, you're stupid. You have to believe this. You're crazy. Okay. So that's the climate change argument. But now enter wearing a mask everywhere you go, on your face all day. Let me read this statement again. There are currently no studies that have evaluated the effectiveness and potential adverse effects of universal targeted continuous mask use. None, no studies. There are, according to the World Health Organization, just 30 days ago, there is no scientific basis or evidence for what we are being told to do. Yet, you're telling me I'm crazy for not wearing a mask and I'm selfish and I should be listening to the scientists. Well, okay, I'm listening to the scientists. Okay, let's read on, shall we? There's another section here on the same page that lists some potential harms and risks for wearing a mask continuously by healthcare workers. You can see that on the screen here, but I'm gonna skip through that because it copies. It's almost the same list that I'm gonna show you next. So same page on page 6, you can see this number 2. It talks about advice to decision makers on the use of masks for the general public. So decision makers, right? Governors, mayors, city councils, health officials, local, county, statewide health departments, people that are making the decision as to whether or not to try to force you to wear a mask. This is the advice of the World Health Organization as of 30 days ago. And I want to go to these sections here. So the first section I want to look at, you can see it's called potential benefits and advantages. And I believe they list 5. So there are 5 potential benefits, according to the WHO, the World Health Organization, of wearing a mask. One is to reduce potential exposure. Okay, fine, whatever. But listen to the next 4. Now, these are all the advantages they can come up with. Just 5, and only one of them really has anything to do with your health. Listen to the other 4. Reduced potential stigmatization of individuals wearing masks. In other words, you should wear a mask so that other people wearing masks don't feel stupid. Okay. Next advantage. Making people feel that they can play a role in contributing to stopping the spread of the virus. Okay. Next advantage, make people feel good. Not too different from the last advantage. Ooh, there's fireworks and thunder and all sorts of stuff going on out there. All right, next 3 points. You're gonna actually 2. Next 2 points. You're gonna love these. This is what I've been saying all along, that this is all about compliance. And people think that when I say that, I'm just crazy and I'm a conspiracy theorist and I'm just a terrible person. Well, the WHO says that one of the advantages of mandating mask wearing is reminding people to be compliant. Wow. Here's the next advantage. Some potential social and economic benefits. One of those economic benefits is that mandating masks will encourage entrepreneurship. It'll encourage people to create masks and sell them in their own community, which could be great for them since you shut the economy down, and maybe making masks is a way for them to make extra money. Wow. And here's the last benefit in that same section. Fabric masks can also be a form of cultural expression, encouraging public acceptance of protection measures in general. So read that. Let's read that again. Encouraging public acceptance of protection measures. What does that sound like to you? Does that sound like conditioning to you? If you mandate wearing masks and people start wearing masks, well, they'll get conditioned, right, to just accept protection measures in general whenever you give them to them. Listen, people, you are being conditioned to be obedient little sheep to your government to do whatever they tell you to do. And these are the benefits of mandating mask wearing that the WHO is telling your mayor and your city council and your governor. Now, as you can see, most of the advantages are just social and compliance measures, really have nothing to do with your health. Listen to the disadvantages, and there's a much longer list. The disadvantages of wearing masks for the general public for prolonged periods of time is potential increased risk of self-contamination. Seems reasonable. Potential self-contamination that can occur If non-medical masks are not changed when wet or soiled, this can create favorable conditions for microorganism to amplify. So you can get even sicker if you wear a mask. Potential headache and or breathing difficulties. No joke. Potential development of facial skin lesions, irritant dermatitis, or worsening acne. Difficulty with communicating clearly. I've experienced that with people that are wearing masks in front of me and I can't see their lips and I don't understand what the hell they're saying. Potential discomfort. Wow, I love this one. A false sense of security. What does that mean? It means wearing masks doesn't really do a damn thing. It makes you feel safe, and that might be a bad thing. Poor compliance with mask wearing, in particular by young children. Waste management issues. Difficulty communicating for deaf persons. Disadvantages for or difficulty wearing them in general. So let me get this straight. And by the way, after saying all of this, the WHO, the organization, still suggests that we should wear masks, even though the disadvantages way outweigh the advantages. Crazy. In other words, it is more the advantage of conditioning you to be compliant is better. It's worth conditioning you to be compliant, even though you might get headaches, have difficulty breathing, cause yourself to become more sick, have issues with your face and dermatitis and acne, all of the communication difficulties, the discomfort, the false sense of security. It's according to these people, it's worth you going through all of that so that they can teach you to be more compliant. Listen, I'm going to close up here. I know that some of you still are so scared out of your mind of COVID-19 that you haven't heard a word that I said. But for those of you who can critically think and you care about your own health and you care about making good decisions for your family, stop wearing a mask. And let me add this to the equation. Please don't put masks on your children. Their respiratory systems are not designed for this. They're not, actually, no respiratory system is designed for this, but theirs especially, it's not fully developed. It can't handle this stuff. We're not made to breathe out and then breathe back in much of the toxins that we were just breathing out. That doesn't make sense. Add to the fact that kids, I see all these kids, all these fancy, cool little print masks that they're obviously reusing. God knows where the kid has put his hands and they're touching their face. And I mean, seriously, stop putting masks on your kids. It's ludicrous. You are doing way more potential harm than good, not to mention, aside from the list of disadvantages we just read, they've also acknowledged that there's been no studies on this. What does that mean? That means that if you don't wear a mask, you could get COVID-19. And from what we've seen, it's most likely, to a very high degree of certainty, not going to be a big deal, especially for your child. But what they say is that they don't know the potential long-term effects. So the risk you're taking of your child possibly not getting the flu could cause them harm in the long term that we don't know yet. Why? It's never been studied. Why? Because in recorded human history, we've never been this stupid as we have been in 2020. Just a little bit of information for you. I hope it's helpful. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I hope that some of you choose to value your liberty and your ability to think for yourself more than what these idiots, frankly, are telling you to do. Please, please look at this information. Look up stuff for yourself. Think about what you're seeing on TV. Think about what people are telling you and make your own decisions. God bless you. Love you. Bye.